Everybody, you're watching Breakfast Television. I know that a lot of people pop the question this time of year. You may be feeling the highs of being newly engaged, but we want to make sure you do not feel the lows of being a newlywed. Here to take us through the do's and don'ts of saying I do is Jeffrey Schwartz, Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. Where do we begin? Biggest mistake people make right off the bat. They're getting excited. They want to plan their perfect day. They don't set a budget.
They don't set a budget, and that can create all sorts of problems with them down the line. Everybody has different expectations around what a wedding is going to look like, what should go into a wedding, and then the problem becomes, well, how do we pay for all this? Where's the money coming from?
Okay, so what do you warn against? As a couple, you should come together, set that budget, stick to it, and do whatever you can to make sure you meet those demands. If you feel like you have to have something that makes you go over, then you have options too. Do you pick up a second job? Do you try and find people to help you, family, friends, to maybe take care of, let's say, the flowers or any connections you have that way to save you in any way you can, right? There has to be compromise.
Big compromise. I mean, first off, you want to decide what is really important. Figure out what you can skimp on and save, and then figure out what's really important that you don't want to skimp on. But lay it all out. Put it into a budget. Plan out what you're going to spend and how you're going to spend it. And like you said before, if you've got to make some concessions and pick up a second job or pick up some more hours, do that. Another option is, you know what, and people don't like to hear this, but put the wedding off a little bit until you've saved up enough so that you can afford the wedding. The last thing you want to do is dig yourself into debt as you're starting your marriage and carry that with you for years to come based on this one day.
Or you also say, if you're not stuck on a date, I mean, ask Hall. Sometimes if you're planning on getting married at a hall, the rates reduce drastically depending on the season, the time of year, the day. Sometimes you suggest having an afternoon wedding as opposed to the evening. You can get cheaper rates.
That's the best idea. Another idea around that is find out who else is having a wedding on that day. Maybe there's some shared costs with floral arrangements, something that you can do so that you can share the cost with the other person having the wedding at around the same time, which might be only a few hours difference.
Okay, let's say, the couple already said I do, and they find themselves in debt watching right now as a result of having their perfect day. How do they then take care of that debt and manage it?
First things first is give yourself a break. Give the plastic a rest. Use cash. Don't pay with your credit card. Stop charging, because that's just going to dig yourself further into debt. The next thing is set some goals around getting out of this debt. You've got to figure out, well, first assess the situation. How much debt are you really in? Lay the statements, lay the bills out on a coffee table, figure out how much debt you're in, and then start to figure out, okay, well, what can I afford to pay off? Put it into a budget. Try and put some money away each month, each week. Try and, if you can, put away, and this is a lot, 20% of your income every month towards paying off this debt.
But it'll make you feel a lot happier and less stressed when you know that that mounting debt is finally getting taken care of. Also, you say beware of the minimum payments on your credit card. You think you're managing it with that, but you're not. It takes so much longer to pay off because the interest rates just keep accumulating your total outcome.
Well, exactly. What you're doing is really, all you're doing is paying the interest. So this wedding could be years and years to come, and you could end up paying triple what you thought you were paying just for all that mounting interest.
Or consolidate.
Or consolidate, exactly. And seek help where you can. Go to a financial professional like Consolidated or a trusted advisor. Try and help you out, because this is not an easy task.
And what exactly takes place through the consolidating? Is it that the interest levels are then completely removed, or is it that it's just lowered, the interest rates?
It depends on the particular debt. I mean, in some cases, we can help people to eliminate the interest rate altogether, or in other cases, what we're going to have to do is reduce it from where they're at. Okay,
thank you. Great advice. For more information, you can pick up this really helpful pamphlet by going to the website consolidatedcredit.ca, or you can call toll-free at 1-800-656-4079. Great advice for all of us, I think, when it comes to budgeting, right? Especially after the holidays. Over to Jen at Live Eye. Hey, Jen.